We're doing a couple of different chest activation techniques today. The biggest thing when we're looking at activation is we just want to get the muscle to fire as efficiently as possible. One of the prerequisites to good activation is that we're trying to get the muscle into the shortest position we possibly can. Okay, so usually the two areas that we want to focus on when we're struggling with a muscle is the two ends of the extreme ends of the range. So we want to see the shortest possible position and the longest possible position. But with activation drills, we're going to focus on the short position. So we're going to start with both the drills. We're going to need a band similar to this. So this is just a long red band. I'm going to grab it and I'm just going to twist it right in the middle. So there's kind of that little X. This is going to go across my upper back. So I like twisting it because it makes the band slide a little bit less than when we don't twist it. So I put my thumbs through it like this. I wrap my arms around and I get it seated right across my upper back like this. So our focus is with our chest. What we want to think about is the chest doesn't extend our arm this way. Our chest brings our arm across the front of the body. So instead of thinking about pushing back and forth, we want to think about pulling the upper arm across the body with the intention of taking our bicep and trying to drive it into the side of our chest. Okay, so this is going to be kind of a cornerstone of our chest activation techniques, is trying to get this concept where we keep the shoulder blade pulled back and we get the elbow and the arm as far across the body as we can. If we just extend this way, my arm gets really far away from my chest and I'm not going to be able to create the same amount of engagement. So that's what I'm going to focus on. I've got my band, I bring it back, I start here. Okay. At the beginning of the movement, I want to set my shoulder blades back here, just so that I can focus on bringing my elbows as close together as I can, like I'm trying to touch the insides of my elbows together across the front of my body. Now once I've gotten this far, now I'm going to let my shoulder blades open up a little bit, but it's not with the intention of going this way. It's with the intention of coming even closer together. So here's my shoulder blades back, and then now here's me letting them come just a little bit further. And all I'm going to do is just an isometric hold, and I'm trying to drive the insides of my elbows together. If you've got extremely long arms, you may need to cross one arm over the other a little bit just to fully shorten that muscle. Okay, so we're going to go here. You might do bursts of 10 seconds. You may be able to get as long as 30 or 40 seconds, depending on the level of muscular endurance that you have. But all we're focusing on is getting that pec to be as short as we can. Okay, so that's the base of that activation drill. Now I want to show a couple of variations that we can do, because there might be different segments of the pec fibers that maybe you struggle with feeling a little bit more. So we can adjust the orientation of our arm to create different stimulus across different sections of the pec. So for example, if I just start with my palms facing down and I bring my arms in, if I look at how close my bicep is to my chest and what part of the pec the bicep is driving into, these are the fibers that are going to be most active. So when I have a palm down grip, if I just come straight across the body, I'm going to be a little bit more biased toward the fibers on the clavicle or toward the upper pec. Okay, it's not an exclusive thing, but it's going to create a little bit more bias. Now if I rotate into a palm in position, it drops the positioning of my bicep, so it's not coming quite as high anymore. Okay, so here's this where I'm pretty high. Now here's this, and the bicep moves lower. So this is going to create a little bit more emphasis on the sternal part of the pec right here. And then if I were to go completely underhand, that's going to create even a little bit more tension in the costal fibers of the pec down here. So again, even with the same drill, so I can go here, I can rotate my palms and adjust that tension to sit a little bit lower on the pec, and I can even go completely underhand and feel the different segments of the pec engaging to different degrees. A lot of that again is depending on where you're going to be struggling. Okay, so that's drill number one.
That much room to the top.
So drill number 2, okay, I've got the band, I'm going to take it and I'm going to slip knot it around a rack. So I want this set at roughly chest level. So here I've got the band, I just take one end and I pull it through the other. So here I am. So now we're going to do something similar to the drill that we just did. The difference is with people who struggle to get the pec into a shortened position, often we're going to have better success trying to get the muscle into a short position without any load on it, and then introduce the load once the muscle is already short. So some people will struggle with starting at the bottom of the lift and trying to get it into a shortened position against resistance. But if we can get it short with nothing in our hand and just set this position, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the band to add the load after the fact. So I'm going to start. There's slack on the band. I'm bringing it across my chest. Right now there is zero loading on this band. So I want to keep this tension, and now I'm simply just going to take a side step until I start to create some tension into the band. Okay, so now I've added the load, and now I can tolerate that load and stay in a short position because I got there without the resistance first. And then I can just test the end of the range. Now if I step too far and you see it starts to pull me away from that short position, I've gone too far. Okay, I don't care exactly what amount of pounds are being dumped into the band. I just want to see, can I maintain the short position? Ideally for at least a good like 5-10 seconds. You can work and play around with longer holds. Once you start getting up to like 30 seconds, you're probably reaching the end of what is necessary for this type of stuff. I like short bursts with like a max time of 30 seconds. So maybe like 3 rounds of 10, 5 rounds of 5 seconds, whatever it takes. So again, we're short, come out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, come out a little bit, reset. Maybe now I want to play with some different hand positions. So now I rotate my thumb down, now come out, different part of the pack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and repeat. Okay, so this type of stuff is great to do either, you can do it before your training, you can do it during sets of your warm-up. So maybe as I'm working up to my heaviest bench press or dumbbell press, I'm adding a couple of rounds of this towards the lower end of my sets, and then once it starts to reach the heaviest weights, then by that point my pec should be sufficiently activated and I can drop this and just continue on with my workout as I had planned. So a couple of great chest drills. Give them a shot, let me know what you think. That's it.